CGO, are you there? We're getting crazy, horrible feedback off your speakers.
Really?
Yeah, you sound awful.
Well, that's not nice.
Something's going on.
Weird.
It seems
I
it's just.
blame.
It sounds like you're outside taking a helicopter ride.
I can confirm that I am not.
All right. Well, that was a loud and awkward way to kick off episode. Is this 15?
I'm not sure. I think so.
Interest. I think it's 15. We're gonna go with 15,
That's what my email says. It says
right?
episode 15 topics. So
Yeah.
we're going
Awesome.
episode 15.
All right. All right. So we had a nice little week off last week, but we're back this week.
We are.
And there's this vicious rumor going around that we have some special things to discuss today.
Perhaps.
Did you hear about this?
We may or may not have spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an email from Spain.
Gotta love Spain. They've already got the whole cycle. And I hear they've got imperial entanglements now. So
Imperial Entanglement's already rotated out. All right. Are you good over there?
I'm good.
All right, so we're gonna start things off this week, but just a heads up, we've got a little bit of awkwardness. Before we said, Smokey said everyone came here to see Jedi spoilers and have their hopes and dreams of a more balanced meta crush. Maybe that could be the case,
I mean, it's a Jedi set, so there's got to be at least 5 tactic icons in it, right?
right?
It's
Yeah. So I went to the Houston Regional. Uh, we have a place there. We have a place here. I left my place here in Austin in the afternoon on Thursday. It was about 1 o'clock, and I had to stop off at the post office on my way out of town. Sorry, I didn't warn you. This was story time.
uh-oh.
And as I'm dropping off this package, I made a comment that we were having some crazy weather. If people have been following Texas weather, it's been a little nutty lately. And the lady at the counter, she's like, "Oh yeah, there was a funnel cloud right outside, like just like right over." And she kind of points, and when you hear something like that, you're kind of just like, sure. And then she tells me that because of the severeness of the weather, which I mean it did not look severe at all, but because of the severeness of the weather, that they also like released the elementary school early for the day. And I was like, okay, this story just isn't making any sense, right? Like we have a funnel cloud and we're gonna go ahead and send the kids home. Like, so I'm like, okay, sure. So I get on the road and I didn't really think anything else about it. I drove home Monday morning, and this was welcoming me in my front yard. There'll be a picture up on the cast here in just a minute, or in just a second, I guess. I forget it's much quicker there. Apparently, that Thursday night, after I left town, some crazy bad storm came through and uprooted a very large tree in my front yard. Um, and my lawn care guy came over on Friday to mow the yard and found the tree, and you can see it's had some of its limbs cut off in this picture by the time I found it Monday. So they've been working off and on all week, and then I've got a whole crew of people here working today. They've been here since about 9 this morning, and they're almost done. So
How
if
long
the
does it
cast,
take to remove a tree?
oh well, they had to cut up all the roots, man. They had to chop up the tree into pieces that they could haul off, and then they had to dig up all that roots, and it's been quite a bit of work for them. Plus, you can't really see in this picture either, but this tree hit a tree, like it got caught by a tree right in front of my house. This is from my driveway looking at my neighbor's house, and so they've had to cut down a bunch of limbs from the other tree as well. So it has been an all day affair for these guys. So if you guys hear any like chainsaws or other things in the background, just FYI, this has been my week so far. So with that, I'm ready to start the cast.
I was ready like 5 minutes ago.
I was too. I just needed to let you guys know I wasn't outside chainsawing. You know, if sounds occur during the
Maybe
cast.
maybe there's a mass murderer out there. I mean, it is Texas, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sorry, that was a bad joke.
That is the weakest leap I've ever heard anyone take.
That is a bad joke. Moving on. It's like my Fourth of July jokes. Those darn Fourth of July jokes.
All right, so I guess you're reading odds this week.
Okay. That's a nice picture of Houston. So
I wanted it to just be somebody's butt because I just hate Houston so much. But I
So-
decided this was a PC cast, so I should go with a picture of Houston.
go ahead and discuss your Houston regional. I guess technically it'd be the Humble regional.
Well, yeah, like it's just a little tiny city right next to Houston, so it's
Right.
Houston. There's 16 of us. Quite a few people from out of the area actually, so that was kind of nice. People that I've seen at like nationals and worlds, but I don't get to see outside of those events came out. They had some friends in the Houston area that they were staying with, so that was pretty cool. I mean, I kind of wrote the article, I guess, so I don't know how much detail stuff I'm gonna go into here because it would just be double dipping a little bit.
Oh, man.
What's
That's
that?
funny. That's funny. Because like, when we're coming up with topics, you're like Houston regional discussion topic number one, and now it's like we're here, and you're like, well, I wrote an article. Just read it there.
I don't like talking about myself. I guess I don't know. I took second. My wife took third. Our decks performed pretty well, but second regional in a row, I got to the top cut in my my light side deck. Being the top seed, my light side deck just decided to go, oh, nothing for you today. So then I had to like win out a bunch as the dark side, which I did. Made it to the finals and then got wrecked. In a pretty morbid fashion. I think I told you it was like turn one, I Vader, he deploys a dude, like a little speeder thing. And then turn two, I deployed some support for Vader. He just deploys some more dudes. And he's never taken the force. So, turn two dials up to 3. Dial goes up to 5 on turn 3, and I deploy Emperor. He doesn't do anything on his turn, so I move the dial to 7. And as soon as I got the dial to 7, he like slammed Desperation on the table. And I was like, that happens when the dial's at 8. And so he was like, oh, it's not in my hands. It's like, okay. And so at that point, like I knew I needed an answer to Desperation, which the deck has answers for Desperation. So I tried to dig a little bit as I could on that turn. I couldn't do much. So went back over to him, and he really didn't do much. He had 2 piloted units, and that was about it. He had like some other dudes on the board, but they weren't piloted, so or enhanced, so they were gonna get blown out. And so it came back over to me, and I had another Emperor and Vader in my hand. So I was hoping he would blow the board during my deploy phase, so I could redeploy these guys. And he didn't, so I dark precogged and couldn't find. I was looking for a interrogation. I couldn't find it. And I played an ISB, and I drew a card and found an interrogation droid. So I played the droid, and he shuffled up his 5 cards, and I hit a Desperation. And so I was like, all right, unless you got anything else, I'll go over to you. And he's like, yeah, I'll play my other Desperation. So yeah, dark side units all got blowed up, and dial was at 9, and then he drew, it would have been 2 or 3 cards, and drew into a trench run, played the trench run, and one shot of the trench run.
Good stuff.
he had attack pattern delta out and had missed attack pattern delta every turn except the turn that he drew into the trench run, and then he deployed another unit, so he had 4 units going at the trench run, and one of the X-wings had the or Y-wings had the torpedo, so it got +4 to the shot, and yeah, it was ugly. So that was that. That was my second loss. So I didn't get to play both games there, unfortunately.
So you thought you were out of the woods by getting the desperation, then you had the second one.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool because I felt so good about luckily pulling the desperation. And then when he played the other one, I was like, oh, maybe I had a 2 in 5 chance. Maybe I wasn't that lucky.
Yeah. Your odds were slightly better than you had anticipated.
But it was a good time. It was really nice to see everybody. Everybody was pretty nice. Learned that there are 2 players in Louisiana that make up the entire player base of Louisiana. They were both very, very nice dudes. And I think one of them top 8'd. I think that was Alex. I'm pretty sure. I'm bad with names, so I don't want to say the wrong thing there. But can't think of anything else. There's a really nice Italian place next door. I will throw that out. And they did have nice bathrooms before we get too much further.
Wait a minute. We established that we have more self-respect than to talk about the bathrooms, right?
I th-
Just saying.
oh Lord. All right. So that was topic number 1. Topic number 2.
Is it topic number 2 time, or is it something else?
Oh, it could be something else. Do we want to do something else?
Sure.
All right. You said we are starting.
We're working our way backwards.
All right. Let's see here. So spoiler number 1. Boom. I'm not sure why this is what we're starting with, but this is what we're starting with. There it is, everybody. That is your first spoiler of the cast.
We get the unexciting stuff out of the way early.
Yep. There it is. Everybody stay on target.
Stay on target.
Yeah, I guess for the listeners, they might not know what that card was. We said boom and then didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So this is a fake card that gets your pilots back.
Surprise,
or takes
surprise.
them out of your hand, however you like it. I mean, it's a good. I like it. It's a good card. I see some people that put like 4 or 6 of these in their list. And that's just crazy to me. Like, this is a card like I want to see like maybe once or twice a game.
I've played around with some pilot decks, and I definitely don't dislike when I see multiples of these, especially with those Rogue Squadron X-wings. Because you will be able to get multiple attacks in. I mean, yeah, maybe 1 or 2. If I see 1 or 2 in a turn, I'm pretty okay with that. But if I see 3 or 4 of them over the course of the game, I'm okay with that too. I definitely don't want to have like a hand with like 4 of these in it. Like that's no good. But if I see 3 or 4 of them over the course of the game, I'm fine.
Okay,
I think it's fine.
I like fewer. We've got Knight 3330. I like how there's a 0 in there and not another 3. I would have guessed the 3 would have come after the first 3s. But that is hundreds. Welcome, hundreds. We've got a joke now going on where people are thousands and millions. Lovely. All right. Topic number 2.
Yep.
I have to read that one. Let's see. All right. Topic number 2, Attack Run. The set has been, is it been released? Has it been delayed? Not released. Has it been delayed, or is it on schedule? We've had several spoilers now. So what is going on with that pack?
Attack Run is pack 4, right?
Nope.
Attack Run.
Yes, it's pack 4.
Okay, so it's the pack we're waiting on.
It's the pack that may have a stay on target in it.
Right. I mean, I guess we got to say it's delayed since the last pack was delayed a little. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the whole cycle's been delayed, so I guess technically it's delayed.
Well, it depends on, I guess, your perspective of the delay, right? Like, is it if it's one pack a month, then technically this could have come out in May, I think, something like that. But then we had two packs in March, maybe? No, we didn't. Yeah,
No, we established it was March and then April, and then we didn't get the next one till
the end of May.
the end of May, because it was late March, early
Yeah.
April, and then very end of May.
So I mean, they're still technically doing it once per month, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess we're on schedule.
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, as long as it comes out. The interesting part though is that the first month had 15 regionals, and that was the month that had no pack until the very last week. And
Right.
now we're going into June, and I think there's 7 regionals this month. If that's right, I think it's 7, or maybe it's because there's 24 total. 15, yeah, I think it's 6 or 7, and we might get a pack at the end of the month. So I don't know. Um, I'm okay with the way they're being released. I just my big things, as you and I have discussed, is I'd like the whole cycle out by Gen Con. I'd like the box set out by Worlds, but I don't think that'll ever happen. Ever.
We can keep our fingers crossed. I mean, I think somebody on one of the forums posted that the, and I'm not saying this as a joke, but the Spain distributor has it listed for June 26th. Now, it's Spain, so I mean, I'm not trying to make a joke here, but
Well, I mean, I think
we,
that's fine because they probably had it June 26, 1997. So
yeah, but seriously, we've got spoilers. We know that Notice Integration has spoilers, and we have to assume that it's probably Team Covenant has the last pack.
FFG South.
And usually once we see spoilers, it's usually about a week or two later that we get the pack.
But that didn't happen with the last pack.
It didn't.
Mm-mm. No,
Did we get spoilers and then we had to wait a month? Is that what
yeah,
happened?
no, I think if I remember right, I think the last spoiler that came out was the Sith one, and I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks or something before the pack actually came out.
Really?
Yeah, man, there is a giant conversation going on in that chat about Somalia pirates.
Yeah. How'd we get to that?
That should be the new running joke.
New running joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somali pirates have it. That's why the boat's why. That's why the boat's late.
Are those? Is that still an issue? Like I know that movie came out and then like we never talked about pirates again. That Tom Hanks movie, right?
Yeah, I never saw it.
Oh, okay. All right. So the pack. I mean, as long as it comes out in June, I don't really care, and I don't need a pack every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or something, But for me, my big concerns are just the big events where it'll have the most impact.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see this pack out and at least pack 5 out by Gen Con.
Yeah, somebody was posting in the chat that they said that this is all the juicy stuff. That there's been stuff rumored on the FFG spreads, and the articles that. Well, we know we've got the pilot Luke, right, and then there's the tease of the pilot Vader, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the article on their website, not the article, but if you click on the product page for this pack,
Yeah.
it talks about Boba Fett. So I mean, we've got some heavy hitters coming in this pack, and we know Notice Integrations has a smuggler set since they put a big smuggler affiliation card
Well, they
on
put
Twitter.
up the art of the card that was spoiled in the fan.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
think
that
of
too.
the
Yeah,
name.
eluding authority, I believe, is what it was called.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Exciting times. It could be just around the corner. It could be
Hopefully.
another 4 weeks. We never know. I'm okay with June 26th. Are you okay with June 26th?
Are there any events that weekend? I wonder.
Probably. I don't know.
I mean, I'm fine whenever they want to give us product. That's fine. I mean, so long as it's not 6 months late.
All right, I'm hearing a
You know.
chainsaw in the background. I apologize, guys. All right, topic 3.
Topic number 3. So, legalization of packs upon release for tournaments. I guess we're going to talk about
We're going
maybe
to talk
getting
about how not to respond to tweets.
yeah. Well, and on a more serious note, maybe give our ideas of maybe what FFG should do.
Yeah, there was after this kind of blew up. For those of you that don't know, with the regional that weekend, we were the only ones with regional that weekend. Um, I had asked on Twitter to the organized play department if the pack was legal, and I waited. I think it was 4 hours and never heard anything. So I fired off another tweet, and I wasn't trying to sound like a jerk. I was just pointing out that I was still waiting for a response on whether or not it was ready or it would be legal. I assumed it would, but for those of you who don't know, David was planning on flying in for the regional, and his store wasn't going to have the pack, and we were trying to figure out what stores were going to have the pack and make sure his store was going to have the pack. The store in Houston was definitely going to have the pack, but Houston's a city of 4 million people, and there's a lot of people that have to drive for hours to get to that store. So there were several on Facebook. There were several people that were Facebooking the store owner asking if he would hold the pack because just there weren't stores in town that were having it. So we were just trying to get things sorted out, and yeah, that was the response we got, which then kind of sparked a debate between some players online about how if there was a standard time of legalization instead of just going as soon as it's available, it's available. If a standardized X number of days, X number of weeks, whatever the case may be.
I mean, we've had this issue going on now. I don't know, 3 regional seasons now, and the response has always been it's legal as soon as it's available.
Yeah.
You know, and the quote unquote day it's available is the day that they release their article saying it is available.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, just it's really less an issue for the U.S. events because we know when it's available in the U.S. It's just more so a problem overseas, I guess.
I think it's a problem everywhere. Like Houston is in a really bad spot. For example, Houston is a very, very big city, but they do not have a distributor there. Their distributor is in Austin. So any of the stores in Houston that go through the distributor in Austin is called Alliance Games. It's one of the biggest in the nation. And any of the stores in Houston that go through Alliance, it's unless they pay or order enough product to have like what's the easiest way to explain it? It's like if you order X amount of money from the distributor, it's a 1-day ship from Austin. So if they get their stuff in on Wednesdays, which they always do from FFG, then it would get to Houston by Thursday, right? But a lot of those stores, they just don't order enough stuff on a Wednesday to get it there the next day. So in my experience from living there, what a lot of the stores do is on Mondays, they put in their large order for the week. And so when they do that, then the pack can be shipped out on Monday and will get there typically on Wednesday. And so what that means is if that's what the stores do, then the stores in Houston don't get the product until a week after most or a good handful of stores in the U.S. have already had it for a week. So they can't be the only city that happens in. You know what I mean? Like that's got to happen everywhere else. Or not everywhere else, but lots of other cities. So there was just a very interesting discussion going on online about whether or not there should be a give stores enough time so it's legal for everybody kind of thing.
Somebody's asking a question in the chat.
Hundreds. That's fine. That's fine.
The see to me like it's really not an issue for me. I mean,
it's not. But you don't have regular events that you attend, do you?
No.
Right. Like you hit one regional, one store championship, and then nationals and worlds a year. So that's 4 events, right?
Right. But here's the thing, just because they say that they have a set date that it's going to be released on, doesn't necessarily mean that the store is going to have it. So the store could have said they have it, David gets there, and then they don't have it. So what's David going to do? You know?
Yeah. Well, that's why we were trying to figure stuff out because I could get it here in Austin.
I mean, I don't know.
I just think that there should be a legal, as soon as the set's announced, announce what its legal street date is. And they probably can't do that because there's all these delays, right? So as soon as they announce when it's shipping, which, I mean, they didn't even update the site correctly on the last one, so that's hard to say. But there should just be this is its legal street date,
It
you
just
know?
seems like this pack there was like everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like the upcoming page wasn't really up. They didn't keep up with the progress of it,
Yeah,
and then it arrived in stores and it was still showing. I believe David said it was still showing on the boat, which I believe was true because
it
I
was.
showed up
Yeah.
at my store and he's like, "Oh yeah, here. By the way, I got this." I was like, "I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was coming." If that
Well,
makes any
and there was a
sense.
holiday too, which we think kind of messed with things as well. But so are you saying you're for or against a
I'm
standardized
not. I'm
this
not
is the
against anything. Like if they want to streamline their process, put more information out there, that's fine. It's just we've seen that FFG tends to want to do all this stuff, but then they get tripped up somehow.
yeah.
In their approach. And I mean, they have a very good problem right now. They are growing too fast, for their capabilities. Hopefully, eventually, all this stuff kind of gets worked out.
Yeah, I think if they want to have a legitimate organized play department, that it would help if they streamlined things and had a consensus instead of just it's legal when a store gets it, because you're just gonna have stores that get it on different days. It's just how it works.
Yeah,
This isn't as orchestrated as Wizards of the Coast shipping Magic cards. It's
yeah. I
just
mean,
not.
like you usually get your packs a few days before I'm able to get mine.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but we typically all have them in the same week for the most part.
Well, the Vegas regional last year, the store that the regional was at was not able to get the pack the week that it came out, and
Yeah,
so
but
they.
see, that store is just a hot mess anyway. So
No, I
I,
agree
I by no
totally.
means think that should be a benchmark for any conversation.
Well, I think there's a difference between benchmark and saying it's obviously an issue that not all stores get cards on the same days.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that was probably more store related than distributor or FFG related.
Well,
But
I don't think either of us know for certain. I just think
right,
that a clarity to when things can be used instead of just when a store gets it is probably needed. That's my take on it.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember, David, that you got yours because yeah. Well, I got mine from a store in Vegas. It just wasn't that store.
So
Uh,
topic
topic.
number 4.
Are we on 4? Yeah,
Yeah,
4. This is going to be a discussion about the Vima set that was spoiled. That was in that pack because it came out after our cast last time. I think we took that week off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So my thoughts on the set.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what you want. That's what you want to hear.
Not really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's an okay set. I think that objective is annoying.
It was just called the Homeless Jedi set in the chat.
The homeless Jedi set. Yeah. Well, I mean, if Vima looks pretty homeless, then you've got the urchin.
I mean, it looks like she's at a club though, right? Like I don't know that I'd go with homeless there.
It kind of looks like she's just chilling out in an alley.
Is it an alley? To me, it just looks like a club, like a cantina kind of scene.
I mean, maybe, but it feels like an alley to me. Uh,
David says you play Vader turn 1 and they get a free Vima and Yoda you seek Yoda for 2.
yeah. Yeah, that's like the worst case scenario, I guess. But at the same time, then they can't play anything on their turn. But I mean, what more do they need to play when they start with a Vima and a Yoda?
Don't forget they got a spider out as well off their objective flip.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Journey Through the
Don't
Swamp. There you
forget that,
go.
David.
I mean, this set has some pretty annoying things going on. Like the objective, it really keeps the dark side from doing what they want to do, which is just like spam the board with blockers, you know? And now this is just like, oh, you play one dude and you end your turn. Well, first turn at least.
So we've got the objective set that kind of ruins Navy. There's no just
Yeah,
dumping dudes into play anymore. And then we've got Vima, who's free if they pay for something that costs 4 or more.
Right.
We've got her little, is it an urchin or something?
Yeah, an undercover urchin.
That recurs cards. The good news is you get to pick the worst of the cards to recur, but
Right. They have to have two or more in there, and then they can start.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then what's the? Is it's 2 copies or 1 copy of
Two
the
copies of Hidden in the Shadows.
which I like. I mean that goes pretty well on Core Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda likes that. He can't be force lightninged or force choked, so.
Yeah. And then what's the last card? The event, right?
Yeah, harassment.
Yeah.
After an opponent's deployment phase begins, increase the cost of the first unit that opponent plays this phase by 1. And it's free. So,
So Skate Pharmacy says maybe she's clubbing, and it says I think Skull Leader there says he checked Wikipedia and she really is homeless. Is
yeah,
it
that's
really a homeless Jedi?
well. She lives on. I think it's like Nar Shaddaa or something like that. I think that's how
Yeah.
you say it. And she stays hidden by just acting like a homeless person, and then I think she eventually goes crazy. So
Um, I don't think the set was like the second coming of Christ, like the internet made it out to be.
yeah,
But I definitely think it's just another notch in their utility belt.
right. The thing that is disappointing the most is that it hurts Navy so bad, and they were like an up and coming. I mean, I don't think this kills Navy by any means, but it really takes the wind out of like the TIE fighters deck, you know?
Yeah, I mean it's turned off when it's on damage though, so I don't
Right, but I
have.
mean, like, the TIE fighter decks, they want to dump like 3 units on turn 1,
Yeah,
you know? And now they can only do 1. So now you're staring at like your hand is like a TIE bomber, a TIE fighter, and you're like, well, shoot, I got these two 1 health units that just stink
yeah,
by themselves. When you've got like 6 of these things out, it's a different story. But yeah,
yeah. I think Jedi getting support sets is fine. I don't have anything against that. I don't think Jedi needs any more support sets, but
they should not get any more sets for
yeah,
quite
I'm
some
waiting
time.
for the Scum support set that it's just 5 copies of Captured,
There you go.
and the objective says each of your events cost -2.
That would be awesome.
That's what I'm waiting on.
So this set, do you think it makes Core Yoda pretty viable? I know you said you like Hidden in the Shadows with him, but do you think he becomes a viable option?
I think the strength of Core Yoda is when you have strong sets with strong enhancements. So I think that's why like Core Yoda and Core Luke always go so well together. Is
Yeah.
like you love seeing Luke as much as you love seeing the other enhancements. So Vima's annoying, but I don't know if she's annoying enough for me to just start building a deck around it, I guess.
I mean, she's got a black tactics with shielding and 3 health, so I mean she's hard to kill and she's hard to tactics down. So unless Palpatine is out there, she's usually going to get to tactics something down.
So David just said, I wish that all the factions were getting pods this good. Uh, I don't really see this as like a pod that's this good. Like to me, this doesn't really scream play me. To me, this screams more of just like, hey, look, it's another thing that Jedi can do really well.
Yeah, I mean I think it's a good set. I don't think it's like BTS Yoda or May the Force be with you level, but I still think it's a good set.
Yeah, I
And I
think
mean
Smokey said it best. The
being
set's
able to
not
get a
broken; they
free
just didn't need
unit,
it.
being able to get a free unit is a thing. You
But
know,
it's a situational free unit, right? Like if
yeah,
the
but
dark
if
side
you look
player is
at
playing ties, like she'll never be free, right?
yeah, if it's yeah, obviously you've got bad matchups, but Sith and Scum, this she's going to be free more often than not.
Think so.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Topic number 5. Or we
Oh,
could do something
is it
else.
is it time again? Is it
I
that
think it
time?
could be time again.
I think it's time too. This is actually a new card.
Is it?
Well, they spoiled the art for it, but you couldn't see the game text.
Boom. All right, so for the listeners, this is a free event with two Force icons called Reassignment. Move an enhancement on a unit to another eligible unit controlled by the same player.
I like it. I think that's a good card.
So just when you think that your Darth Vader and his lightsaber are safe from a desperation, nope.
It gets
The
moved.
dark side apprentice gets to stay.
Well, and on the same thing, the other side of the coin is, the light side. You go in with I don't know, like a Rogue 3. They make a block on it, and you move over a astromech droid, or you put the gunner on there, and all of a sudden, well, obviously you play this after you've won an edge battle. They think they're making a safe block, and you just destroy a unit. So I think it's pretty good. It's defensive and an offensive card.
Utini asks, does the card retain any tokens placed on it? I assume yes. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't like fall into nothingness and then get moved. I would think it's just a relocation, but it's definitely a good question.
What is it?
I
What do
think
you
if
mean?
it crossed the board, I think the stuff would fall off. Like I think if it changes players, there's something that does something similar. I think.
Also, if there's like say you want to move Wedge and he's already focused,
Yeah,
yeah, I would assume the token stays on.
I'm like 90% certain it stays on, but
Yeah,
I think if it changed like the board, like if it went from light side to dark side, I think it like I swear there's a precedent for this in one of the rules, but I could be totally wrong. Anyway,
oh, this could be used to move an enhancement on a unit to another. Oh, I guess it says eligible. I was gonna say otherwise you could probably move one pilot to another piloted ship, and then they'd have to discard a pilot. But I think because it says eligible,
yeah. Houdini
'cause-
says that join me keeps the focus. So okay, that must be what I was thinking, and I was thinking incorrect. So thank you, Houdini.
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of this card.
I, I think it's a fine card.
It's to me it's a very situational card. So when it happens in a game, that'll matter somewhat sparingly. I just don't see it doing much.
I think it's a good card, so I like it.
Right on. All right, topic number. Where are we on? 5, 4?
5.
We're on 5. You're reading the odds, sir.
Oh, so I am. What does the dark side need in order to be consistent again?
Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, here you gotta watch this that I put in there. You have to watch.
I'm watching.
Not Vima.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
But
already
this
saw
here.
her. Nice.
That's dark side consistency right there.
Did Smokey J become our IT guy with those awesome gifs?
No, Smokey had nothing to do with that one.
That's pretty good. Oh man, I'm gonna laugh all through this topic. Oh, that's great.
I have no idea what the dark side needs to be more. I guess, man, that chainsaw is gonna be loud. I apologize. Oh, it's getting closer. What
Oh
are they
man,
doing?
you better run.
I know. I thought the tree was mostly down. This has gotten crazy. So we've got a suggestion of Vader. You seek Vader.
Or an emperor, you seek emperor.
I really think maybe something that would sincerely help the other factions would be a force choke esque type of card for like Navy and Scum, because right now there's just a massive dependency. Like I would even like to see like Scum get like a pay 1 do 2 damage. There's just so much dependency on force choke because there's so many things that the dark side needs to kill, and if the dark side can't kill them, then what's the point? Like I don't know. I think events that do damage not named Force Choke and not just for Sith would be. Oh, they're getting really close to the house with that one. I think they're trimming my hedges too. I think that's what they're.
With
Oh
the
no, they're working
chainsaw,
on that tree.
that's a
They're
bit
working on the
overkill.
tree with the broken branches. Yeah. All right.
I mean,
Sorry, guys.
the chat says event cancels. And
Event cancels would be good.
I could see that because I mean, you could if you can stop a Yoda, you seek Yoda. That'd be pretty good.
Right, like if there was like a counter stroke for the dark side, it would be so good right now because well, no, I was gonna say you could cancel the Yoda you seek Yoda and refresh, but most light side players wait till like the end of your combat or your force phase
Yeah,
before Yoda you seek Yoda. And you might be already spent by that point.
I'm pretty sure if I've got it in my hand and I'm playing Jedi though, I think I'm going to do everything I can to keep that one out.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's probably not always the case, but hey, what if the dark side got like a trust me?
I mean they kinda have it in like rage, right?
Trust me?
Oh, trust me. I was thinking trust your feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me would be pretty good.
I mean, would it be as good on the dark side though?
It'd be more
Probably not.
riskier.
Yeah,
I mean, you would use it more sparingly, right?
yeah,
But to me, it's not the events that are pushing the light side to the like limits. Like they've always had tricksy events, you know. They've always had
yeah.
them. Like to me, it's just like their units are just top notch, and there's so much stuff you have to kill, and if you can't kill it, like ugh.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, better first turns.
I'm anxious to see what Tarkin, if his set really does anything. I
I
personally, I think it does, but
yeah.
we gotta see what else comes in that box set. Really, it's smuggler cards, so yellow could become the new brown after Imperial Entanglements. It's really hard to tell.
So Boba Fett said they need to have better first turns. Boba, I think that's a good point. Like I've said numerous times over that the light side being able to like Yoda you seek Yoda, activate a spider and do something else on that turn, like maybe a force rejuve on Yoda or something. I mean, like the dark side will never have turns that good. So it's that's definitely true. Like dark side getting lower cost things that are impressive would be very nice.
Like a two-cost unit with two black tactics,
Two cost unit with two black tact.
speeder bike.
Yeah, those would be nice. But hey man, they've got a unit with two black tactics. They cost 4 and they cost 5. They're
Oh
getting
yeah,
there.
yeah, the Anzadi Elite. Yeah,
Right. You know. Yeah, and Edge.
yeah, Edge one.
Norman says an objective like mobilize the squadron. That would be kind of interesting. Cheap, good units that can be played anytime. Ones that recur from the discard pile. All
Like
right.
like some Wolfmen.
Right? No, there's things that they can get. My big thing is they need removal spells in the other affiliations. Like Sith has to stop being the only one with a free or low cost removal spell.
Or a board wipe that's not in a affiliated or a affiliation only set.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm sorry. The debate about whether or not the stormtrooper's ever gonna get it in the dryer, it's gonna go away. Everybody get one last laugh at it.
Darn it.
He almost made it that time.
Almost.
Okay. All right.
That was great.
We could do another spoiler if we wanted.
Another spoiler? Okay, another spoiler.
Another spoiler. All right. Boom. Temple hanger.
So we get our Jedi version of the pilot enhancement.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we had to assume this was coming. I mean, Stay on Target was already in there. So, this one was kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I like this one though. Like, if you play Secret of Yavin and Temple hangers, then like your grandmas have a home. It's kind of nice.
Okay, that was as bad as my Texas massacre
No,
joke.
no, it
That
wasn't
was,
even close.
that was just as bad.
None of those pilot resources have the force icons.
So how many of these pilot enhancements have we seen? Have we seen all of them, or are we still
This is all of them for the light side.
okay?
This
What are
was
we
the
waiting?
last one on the light side
And we've
because the
seen,
Outrider had the smuggler one, and
yeah,
then
and
the
Baronfell has the dark side navy one, right? And
yeah, and Black Two has the Sith one, so we
so we're
don't have the
waiting.
Scum one.
So we don't have a scum one yet.
Yeah. All right. Topic number 6, I think.
Topic number 6. What?
Nothing. My art makes me chuckle.
Oh, system failure. What are we in the Matrix?
Yep. You're. Oh wait, I'm on odds or
Yeah,
evens. Oh man, hold on. Talk about system failure.
yeah. You
All
have
right.
failed,
Will the
sir.
Tome software be the software that FFG uses at Gen Con? And if so, what does it mean for strength of schedules and quote super buys earned from regionals?
I feel like my super buy is a waste now.
Do
'Cause
you?
I mean, it's a Gen Con, or I'm sorry, it's an FFG event at Gen Con. We have to assume that their tournament software is going to be used there. You know,
They could go back to just using an Excel doc for the entire thing.
I mean, they could, or they could go back to using that other program they've got, but which I would rather them do that because I have a super buy and I don't want it to be, you
It's
know,
pretty lame that everybody who won a regional super buy just got a whole lot less super.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, if I knew super buys weren't going to be super, I probably wouldn't have driven up to Milwaukee. I just would have played in Chicago instead.
Yeah,
Although, well, no, because I couldn't have made Chicago either way. So I guess I probably still would have went to Milwaukee.
yeah.
But I mean, the fact that they kind of snuck this in, the super buys not being so quote unquote super is
Well, I mean, how
kind
do
of
you
ridiculous.
how do you tell everybody what the prizes are, and then effectively renege the prizes?
Yeah,
Like that's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen a company do. Like we all knew what we were playing for these regionals for a first round. Well, it was clarified in the rules as a first round buy, and then in the rules document it tells you how to do a super buy from a store championship. But now we're told that those super buys weren't actually to be used as super buys in the Tome software. Now we're thinking the Tome software is going to be a Gen Con, so our quote unquote super buys from regionals are just going to be buys.
I'm just gonna roll the dice and see if I get a buy the first round.
Why?
I
You
mean,
already
it's
have a
worth.
guaranteed one.
Well, who cares? It's worth the same. What the heck?
Well, that doesn't
I'd
make
rather
any sense.
play. I'd rather play.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
No,
it
you would
would.
rather take the high. Like, it's not even a higher strength schedule, but it's like a slightly better strength schedule, basically.
It's not worth it. It's not super anymore. It's like who cares?
I know. And it's very frustrating. It's I think this is something they could have done post Worlds, not something that they do in May of regional season.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of poorly timed. Um, Escape Pharmacy told you to use the buy and go eat some lunch. Escape Pharmacy is obviously trying to sabotage your entire day.
Right? Because I am terrible after lunch. So I'm gonna lose every game at Gen Con if I go to lunch right away.
That's really what the system failure image is in reference to, is you eating.
I expect you to knock any food that I buy onto the ground.
Remember, I threatened to do it at
Yeah,
Worlds.
at Worlds. I'm gonna have a backpack full of snacks. I'm gonna eat granola bars every match.
If you walk around with a backpack, I'm going to call you Dora.
I will make sure to wear a Dora the Explorer backpack then.
So, I think Tome can be good. I don't think Tome is negative. I think Tome just right now. I get I get what they wanted to do. They wanted to defeat the negative stigma of having a buy at an event. I get that. And they achieved that, but I don't think it was worth it to cost yourself part of your prize distribution during your aren't these premier events? Like
Yeah.
that was just such a silly thing to do. Like you and I talked before, they seem very bent on turning tournaments into casual events and not tournaments. You know, they're now making it where you can only win one buy. They've done away with the idea of a super buy. Next year we're just gonna show up and play paper rock scissors to see who won.
That's a good thing because I am good at paper rock scissors. I beat my daughter all the time.
Skill game.
Yes.
Beat my daughter all the time.
You like that?
I'm now just envisioning you just like sitting on the house just all the time playing paper rock scissors with your daughter. She's,
Oh,
Dad,
dude,
I keep losing. No, you will play.
We paper rock scissors last night for green beans or peas for dinner, and I won. We had green beans. I beat her the first time. She's like, do over. I'm like, okay, we'll do it over. I beat her again. She's like, do over. I beat her like 3 times before I finally said, no more do overs, girl.
Oh my goodness. All right. Topic number 7.
Oh yeah, this is mine to read. So we have a top 4 objectives: cruel interrogation, 2 councils of the Sith, and executor arrives.
So these are like the 4 you would flip. This is obviously from my dark deck. That you would flip on your objective flop, and you have to send one back. So I already know what my answer would be, but I can work through everything. I think the double councils is like a duh.
A given.
The only time it's not a duh is if your opponent started smuggler, because you don't want to have this against freeloaders.
Freeholders might be a problem, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't have to. It's not a forced reaction, so
Right.
you don't have to do it if you think they are playing smugglers after their freeloaders after their flop. But I still think council is a double keep. So I think it really comes down to whether or not you kick out cruel or whether or not you kick out executor. And the people are already saying cruel in the chat, so we can jump right into it. I'm pretty sure it's cruel for me.
You're keeping that or shipping that?
Shipping that.
Okay.
Cruel is really, really good, and disrupting their hand is something you really, really want to do. However, a first turn Vader is really, really good, and the
Yeah.
Executor gives you that as an option.
Yep. I don't think we're
you-
going to have much disagreement here.
Yeah, the other thing about Executor Arrives is that if you happen to have a holocron in your starting hand and the Executor, you can turn one Executor, which you just pass on the commitment and you let him get a free point of damage, and you've got to turn one Executor on the board, which is always
Which is
good.
pretty scary
Yeah. And
for
then
the
you
light
can-
side.
If you also have like and now I mean this is just living the dream, but you can also have like a holocron and an emperor and a royal guard, and then you definitely want those 5 resources, you know.
Yeah. The only thing is, and I've always started Executive Arrives, is the only reason I like to put it to the bottom sometimes is so that way if they have one of those hands where they're only going to play 1 unit, so like they might have an opening hand where they could either play two cost units or 1 like Luke or Yoda.
Yeah.
I don't want them to know that I might have aggression, so
Right.
that way maybe I induce them to play that Luke Skywalker instead, and then I can come over the next turn and aggression him away.
Right.
Whereas Executor Arrives, starting that in play, you're telling them you've got aggression in the deck, and that they should probably play as many units as possible to avoid that aggression from being so punishing. But I think giving them information about aggression is okay if you're able to play, a Vader. So I
Well,
would.
the reverse is that if you ship the cruel, then they don't know that they might not know that you have interrogation in your deck.
Exactly. And
No, I mean they can't prepare for interrogation anyway, but
right.
still. Now I think you can make the argument to keep one council and keep one cruel, like if they have a Jedi objective start or affiliation start. I think you want the card draw more than you want the chance at getting something good out of their hand. But if somebody told me that that was their plan, I wouldn't think that that was like a horrible plan.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't disagree with that thought either. I mean, one extra card versus two extra cards. I mean, depending on how crazy you go on your turn, I mean, how valuable is that second extra card going to really be?
Right.
I mean, against the Jedi, it could actually be pretty valuable, just because we know their decks typically have a lot of Force icons, whereas against maybe Rebels or Smugglers, maybe that second card is just, you know, overkill. Maybe
Yeah, I can see that.
it's like sledgehammer to kill a fly kind of thing.
Yeah, I think me personally, I think you always want to have like the best start possible. So I would do the double council.
Yeah.
But if somebody was like, well, I really want to disrupt a Jedi hand, like I could totally understand cruel interrogation. But other than that, I think Executor always has to be there, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much debate. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to have the best possible game, I mean, you want to be able to play a Vader on the first turn if you draw him. You know.
Yeah. I always get so happy looking at that Executor Rise objective. It's like, to me, it's like the last amazing Dark Side set.
That's not true. Well, I guess amazing, yes, but
It was
mean,
so
there's-
good. Remember all the cries, Sith Holocron is broken.
oh yeah, I remember those days.
Cray says keep both councils in cruel. I would just go for the resource, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you want to just like risk your game just on luck by snatching out a good card, because at the same time you could just. I mean, I struggle to think of a bad Jedi card, but I mean, I guess Bogwing. You know, you pluck a Bogwing from their hand, you just did them a favor by getting rid of that, because they were just going to discard it anyway.
Are we on? We're on topic number 8.
Topic number 8.
But I think we could do something
Oh,
instead
spoiler
of topic
time.
number 8.
Spoiler
Yeah.
time.
I think we could do that. Which one do I want to throw on there?
Well,
Let's
you
do-
want the one after the resource.
Yeah, I think I'm doing this right. Is that number 3? I think that's number 3.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think that's number 3.
Oh yeah, it's number 3.
Okay. It's got a lot of 3s on it.
Wait a minute, it's a Jedi card that doesn't have tactics. That can't be it.
No. You're mistaken, dude. This costs 3. There's only one Jedi card that costs 3 and has tactics. All the others cost like 2 and have 16 tactics.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
so this bad
Yoda's
boy.
got tactics. He
I
costs
know.
3.
I said there's only one.
Yeah, oh, well, technically there's 3.
3
but-
versions of that one. Yeah.
Well, no, Leia has tactics. She costs 3.
Oh, good call. All right. So a 3/3, 3 force icons, 3 damage icons, 2 of which are black blast. It's elite. And after this unit is focused to strike, remove 1 focus token from a pilot enhancement you control.
So good. Did you mention the 3 health too?
Yes, I did.
I think this card is a pretty good vehicle fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Wedge Antilles has a new best friend.
It's pretty good.
I mean, you get 3 attacks with it with Wedge.
It's
Seems
elite.
yeah, and it's elite with 3 icons. Seems pretty good.
Here's the great part. I've seen Return of the Jedi more times than anyone should ever see a movie. I couldn't tell you what Blue Nine was in that movie, but apparently
Right?
in this game he's amazing.
I mean, he's blowing something up back there. I mean, you see an explosion and him flying away. I mean, I think this card is solid, legit.
Norman, this set does have stay on target. Yeah, it is good art too. That's good point, Skull Eater. And everybody on the chat has jumped all over Wedge on this guy.
Yeah. So now the question is, do Jedi vehicles splash with rebels or smugglers? Do you want the protectors or do you want Defense of Yavin 4 with rebel assaults? I mean, I guess you want rebels because of Wedge.
Wait, hold on. Is Blue Nine not actually in Return of the Jedi? Is that why I don't know this thing? Is this from the books? I just assumed it was from the movie.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
He's actually crashing?
All right, who's our Wikipedia guy? Somebody tell us all about Blue Nine. Is it a homeless ship or is it in a cantina?
Is it clubbing?
No, I mean obviously this card's pretty good.
I mean, it's Jedi, so naturally it's got to be good. So
So it was at Indoor. Okay. I thought all the B wings were at Indoor, so that's what I was going with. All right, sweet. I like it, but like people said, Wedge seems really good on it, and I hear there might be this pilot, Kian.
Kian Farlander.
Yeah, yeah, could be interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what he looks like.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that even exists in this dojo. All right,
Next topic.
next topic. Man, that's several Matrix jokes today. I'm pretty good at this. Wait, is this an even? That means it's me.
That's you.
All right, we got a versus Wookiee Life Debt versus the Survivors.
So I guess this is on me, huh?
Yeah,
Um,
this is where we compare. We go down the line. So we want to just start with the ones that are on the screen.
Sure. All right. So Survivors versus Wookiee Life Debt. I mean, I think Survivors is really good, but I mean, it's really limited to Jedi.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say probably Wookiee Life Debt is the better of the two. Although
Okay.
Survivors is a very close second to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For me, a card that just completely nullifies Force Choke on unique Jedi's is a giant pain.
Yeah.
But and Wookiee Life Debt requires to me this is pretty neck and neck.
I can I can see that. I mean, in order for Wookiee Life Debt to be any good, you have to have the Wookiees.
Yeah.
You know,
In order for
Survivors.
Survivors to be good, you got to have the Jedi. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
They're both pretty cool.
But I mean, when you have Wookiee Life Debt out and they have Wookiees out, it's just a nightmare to get through that wall because all the Wookiees have 3 health. You know?
So if we're just comparing them in the vacuum, one to each other, I would have to give it to Survivors. Specifically for this reason. If Wookiee Warriors were any different, then Wookiee Life Debt might not be as good, right? Like that's to say that we're kind of valuing Wookiee Life Debt because we already know that it comes with Wookiee Warriors, right?
Yeah.
So to me, like Survivors, you just need unique Jedi. It
Which
doesn't
in
matter.
a Jedi deck isn't really hard.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's going to be Survivors, but I also think it's neck and neck.
I mean, I'm gonna keep Wookiee Life Debt if probably before Survivors,
Yeah.
just because I'm gonna probably get way more mileage out of the Protect that it gives everything. So
Yeah. All right. So next card, Ron versus Chewbacca.
I don't think there's any debate. It's Chewie.
That's Chewie.
The card is probably underpriced, overpowered. Well, I don't want to say overpowered, but he's definitely underpriced.
Yeah.
He's got the combat icons of a 4-cost unit, the health of a 4-cost unit. The only downside he has is he's 1 Force icon, but his ability is absurd, and it's amplified by Wookiee Life Debt.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I agree. I think that's an easy one. Then we have the support units of Wookiee Warrior versus
Sulon Sympathizer.
Salon. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't even think this is remotely close.
No, it's Wookiee Defenders.
Yeah. Wookiee
I mean,
Defenders. What is that card?
what are they called?
Wookiee Warriors, sir. They are
Whatever.
warriors.
Whatever.
They don't just sit back and do nothing. They're warriors.
Wookiee Warriors. Yeah,
Defenders.
the two cost Wookiee guys. I mean, they got 3 health, all right,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you don't care if you win or lose an edge battle because majority of the time they're probably going to live anyway, and then they're going to hit back even harder because now they're angry.
yeah.
Whereas the sympathizer, he's just a white blast and a resource.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like the worst card, but he's not as good as the Wookiees.
And then things get a little mucky here because we've got the Shin training versus basically a Wookiee warrior.
I would give that to Sheehan training.
Yeah, Shin training's pretty ridiculous.
Card is pretty nutty.
Yeah.
Oh, your executor hits me for 3. No, that guy dies over there.
Yeah. And then what's the event in Survivors?
Force
Oh
Rejuve.
yeah, Force Rejuve. Yeah, that's right.
Force Rejuve versus Let the Wookiee Win.
Yeah. I
That
think
one's
that
tough.
one-
That
Oh,
one's.
to me, that's going to let the Wookiee win every day.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Let the Wookiee Win is a really good card. Well, Force Rejuve, I mean, you're removing all damage and all focus tokens,
No, that's true. That's true.
which is legit.
Red 5 threw it down for Force Rejuve. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's close. The only thing about Let the Wookiee Win is that they make they block with Palpatine on the board and Chewie's on the board.
Yeah.
They can't do it. Like Palpatine is no longer can no longer do anything really.
Yeah.
He's just 5 Force icons at that point because he's bound to die sooner or later. So it's a very scary proposition for him at that point. So yeah, I would say let the Wookiee win.
All right. And then we get a Heat of Battle versus Protection. My money's on Heat of Battle.
Yeah, I mean both have their advantages, but I think Heat's just better. Removing a unit is pretty good. Being able to kill a unit, I should say.
Yeah.
And Heat of Battle kind of helps you in that. Helps you do that. So
All right. So it goes to Wookiee Life Debt is the winner?
I think it was the hands down winner.
Yeah.
I think only Sheehan training was like the definitive one from the survivors.
Yeah. All right. We could go into. Yeah, let's do topic number 9.
Topic number 9. The summer tournament kit has been announced.
Oh, I've got to find it here. Where is it? Where's it hiding? Boom! There it is. And what a tournament kit that is.
Yeah,
To be honest, if it weren't for Dark Time for the Rebellion, this would be up there with like my second favorite tournament kit.
you a big fan of the play? You're a big fan of the playmat, aren't you?
Yeah, I like the playmat so much. I just wish it was reserved for a big thing. Like just making it where every store in the nation is gonna have like 3 of them just bums me out. But
It is a pretty good playmat, and it will go nicely with the deck box that has the same exact art. It's still not
Yeah,
as good
that's
as
true.
it's still not as good as my No Disintegrations playmat or the Han Solo playmat from the regional, but it is a pretty good. It's a pretty good mat.
yeah,
And to be honest though, I'm really not disappointed with the Dark Time for the Rebellion. I mean, we know Navy's going to get better, or we hope that Navy's going to get better with Imperial Entanglements. So maybe that gets a little bit of a season increase in play.
yeah. What's that R2 art? Is that prepare for evac?
Yeah, that's the Hoth objective, the smuggler. The one when Hoth objective is destroyed, you return a unit.
Okay.
I like the blues and the reds on that box. It just looks really amazing to me.
Yeah.
Seems like a weird thing to say, but it's a really cool color.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, the phone's ringing.
It's the chainsaw guy.
He's coming to get me. I'll be at your house next. He's got a bit of a drive though, so I got time to prepare.
So it's awesome. I think it's some really good choices. I mean, I don't think Zuckus is seeing a ton of play, but it's kind of neat. I mean, he's seeing more play than Akbar, that's for sure. Um,
Yeah. It's some cool art though for Zuckus. He's hiding and he's like waiting to pounce. It looks like.
yeah, this has been like the second swing and a whiff for objectives for me. Like, I don't really run defensive Yavin 4 that much, even though I know some people do.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm keeping hope that like they're saving some big awesome objective for nationals.
Maybe we'll get May the Force be with you. I'm still holding out for my Falcon promo. Still
Yeah,
holding out for that.
I'm hoping like Web or Fall or Hero's Journey or something like that.
Eh,
It'll be we should get national prizes soon.
it'd be
Posted soon. I'm
nice.
guessing next week is when it'll happen, like next Friday or something.
I mean,
Fingers crossed.
it'd be nice to know what we're playing for, but at the same time,
Lies.
I mean, we didn't know we were playing for at Worlds, and we all still went.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some of us got playmats, some of us didn't.
Zing.
Yet we top 16 two events. Just saying.
So we're a fan basically. The set, the two alternate art cards could have been a little better, but otherwise we're fans, right?
I'm fine with everything. Like I like Zuckus, I like the Dark Time for the Rebellion, I love the box, and I love the Vader playmat. I think it's really good.
I'm not a big fan of the box, but I like that it's an actual Star Wars LCG card instead of a Star Wars two-player LCG card. I wasn't a big fan of the wasn't it Bausch?
Oh yeah. The last kit, the Bausch playmat, and the
Yeah,
Bausch.
it's not even
Yeah,
two-player. It's challenge deck. Yeah.
it's the challenge deck. Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
I mean
And the
it's still
playmat
cool.
was the playmat Bausch as well. I can't really remember.
I don't remember.
I think it
I
was.
never really unraveled it to look at it.
Yeah.
I've got too many. I got too many options for playmats now. Got way too many options.
And they're all good.
Yeah, I mean, I just stick with no disintegrations. It's my bread and butter.
Right? No, I like the set. I just it seems like this is like every kit this year has just been like alternate art cards that we're probably just not going to put into play all that much. So I've kind of been a bit bummed about the alternate art cards lately. But it started so strong, you know. I mean, we started with Luke and Vader and Boba Fett, and then
C3PO sees
yeah,
play.
yeah, and then it's just
Um,
kind of died out a little bit.
Royal Guards, Jedi lightsaber. I mean, we got the Rogue 3 and Tarkin. I mean, Tarkin doesn't see a lot of play, but Rogue 3 is starting to see more play.
Yeah, it's funny. Like Tarkin doesn't see much play, but I still really, really thought that that was a cool card to do.
Oh yeah, because the art was amazing.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe the better the art, the better we like the promo. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, maybe they did Defense of Yavin 4 because they knew Rebels were going to be a thing with that cycle.
Sure, sure.
So maybe they're doing a Dark Time for the Rebellion in anticipation of that being a thing when the box set hits.
Yeah.
Just saying, maybe.
I think it's time for another spoiler.
I don't know. I think we should make them wait.
Well, we only have one topic left.
Yeah, and then we can
Okay.
just
All
finish
right.
the
All
last few
right. All right.
spoilers.
Just so everybody notes, TGO's decision.
Blame me.
Everybody.
Blame
TGO's
me.
decision.
Blame me.
There it was.
Haters gonna hate.
Number 10, the final topic before the remaining two spoilers. We're gonna redesign a set.
Oh yeah,
Boom. All right.
we're
So
redesigning.
yes, we're redesigning Colsair set.
This was actually my idea, and it was a terrible idea.
So for those unfamiliar with how this works, you have to keep two cards from the set, and then you can swap them out with any three cards, but it has to stay. It has to stay in the affiliation, but we can throw in a neutral or something. I think.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So you're up first, buddy. So which two are
I
you
kept
keeping?
I kept three cards. I kept the objective. I kept obviously Colsera,
Okay.
and I kept the X-wing because I like the X-wing.
All right.
I got rid of the Renegade Squadron recruit, a stinging insult, and don't get cocky.
Okay.
And I'm replacing the zero cost guy with a Renegade Squadron operative which is the two-cost smuggler unit from Renegade Squadron set
Okay.
with the two black blasters.
All right.
So I'm giving the set a good defender, and then I'm stealing a couple of event cards. I'm replacing one of the event cards with a little maneuver. After you lose an edge battle, end the engagement without further resolution. Discard all cards in edge stacks.
Nice.
I figure since this set is all about it felt like it was very much caring about edge battles. Because I mean, Cole has edge one. He wants you to win the edge battle, and then last defensive Hoth lets you flip up a card from your deck. So I just felt like a little maneuver fit the theme.
Yeah.
And then I put a second event in there, Over My Dead Body, which is when it's an interrupt when a unit in play executes an action or reaction ability, cancel that ability's effect. I don't know why I threw that in there. I probably could have just like thrown in a resource and called it a day. But I was like, no, I just want to throw that in there. I mean, it doesn't make the set a whole lot better, but whatever.
Right on. I dig it.
So, what did you change?
Well, see, you made the fatal mistake of letting me redesign a smuggler set. So I kept the objective because I like free edge cards. I kept Colsera because I like edge one. I then added the Millennium Falcon because I like edge one and I like the Millennium Falcon. I then added a Cloud City Casino because I like resources.
Yeah.
And let's see, that's 3. So then I added, I can't remember. I think I was going to go ahead and leave out the Bamboozle. I thought that might be a little much. So I think I was going to go with Make Your Own Luck.
Make Your Own Luck. Is that the one that gives you force icons?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That might seem a little out of place, but I thought Cole might need some help taking the force.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something else would make more sense in there. I don't know. And then I went with the Twist of Fate.
Oh my goodness. Clearly I suck at this game. Not the game, but like the redesigning process because I mean, I'm like, I want to keep it reasonable, So I picked reasonable cards. You're like, no, screw this. I'm just gonna break the game. Put a Falcon and a Twist. Oh wait a minute, Falcon and Twist are in the same set already.
Oh yes, they are.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I just thought that set would be a whole lot of fun for me. Like,
but
that's
why
a whole lot of
Falcon with
edge.
Cole?
What's that?
Why Falcon with Cole? I mean,
to me, that little picture of him, I'm sure this is probably wrong, but to so
Falcon set with Cole Sarah. That's more or less it.
no, guys, I didn't want that poopy Cloud City guest quarters in there. I made it better. Come on.
Yeah, you did.
Like this is a 1-for-1, not a 2-for-2. That's amazing.
You basically took Cloud City Operative out of the set and put Cole Sarah in.
Yeah, I mean, but I also gave it help winning edge battles instead of just rewarding you for winning edge battles.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, like the Make Your Own Luck doesn't really fit in anywhere in the cards I'm recommending. So like maybe we should just put a holding all the cards in there instead.
put 2 holding all the cards in there.
No,
and 2
just
free
the
holders.
one, just the one, because I still want the Falcon, the resource, and the Twist.
Oh my goodness.
You should have never let me redesign Smuggler.
I almost said let's redesign False Report, but then I was like, no, that's really not too.
Oh yeah, that would have definitely been 2 freeloaders, the Falcon.
That would have been 2 freeholders, 2 holding all the cards, and a Twist of Fate.
I like the Twist of Fate with Cole and the Falcon though. There's so much edge reward there. Like,
Yeah,
oh, it's so good.
that's fine.
All right.
All right, so
So that's it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
there's going to be outrage. They're going to come pitchforks and torches.
All right, here we go.
I like that.
So-
How can you make May the Force be with you better? Add Falcon.
So we've got our second to last spoiler here. Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Boom. There it is.
It's not there yet. There's still a delay.
Well, by the time they hear boom, it'll pop up on their screen.
There it goes. It's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you go over this one, sir.
All right, so you got Keon Farlander. He costs 3. He has 2 health, 2 force icons. He's a pilot, so I mean his combat icons really don't matter, but I'll tell them to you anyway. 2 black blasters, 1 white blast. He's a character, a force user, and a pilot, and he has pilot 2 ability. It says while enhanced unit is participating in an engagement and ready, this card gains action. Focus this enhancement to have enhanced unit strike immediately. So, like, I feel like Hoth Ops in this set are just like 2 peas in a pod that are just going to love each other. They're just going to love each other because you put that on Rogue 3 and you put Wedge on Blue 9 and you're done. Or
Yeah.
put Keon on Home 1 like Teardal points out. There you go. Boom. Strike first, 3 damage, 1 everything else. Or Rogue 3, you know.
So basically, what you're telling me is Darkseid is playing nothing but AT-ATs.
Yeah. Sorry, any noise you hear in the background is my daughter not following instructions.
Aw. All right. Well, you're being punished for making everybody wait for the spoilers.
I'm being punished?
Yeah, all the noise in the background is because you made everybody wait.
Yeah. She's heading back upstairs.
Okay. So it's pretty good. Obviously, it goes pretty good on Blue 9 and Rogue 3. How about we get over to that objective?
I mean, any ship, any vehicle that has tactics on it, this is pretty good on. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't put this on like a speeder bike because if you lose that edge, he just goes away. But you know,
I mean, it seems pretty good on Rogue Squadron too. Renegade Squadron.
Renegade Squadron.
That's the 3rd time now I think I've referred to that stupid thing. It's because of the cycle. It's shaking my head up.
Yeah, Renegade has what, 2?
Renegade's got 5 total icons. I think it's
No, but it's got 2 focus icons. Or
yeah, it's got 2
icons?
tactics, 1 gun, and 1 2 blast. 1 or 2 blast.
Yeah, I mean, I like Keon. I think he's pretty good.
Is it? What else would it go? What else strikes big?
Well, I mean, Rogue 3 strikes pretty big. Home 1, Renegade Squadron with its tactics.
You can put it on the Falcon.
Put it on the Falcon. Yeah, but I mean, you plan on like going away with the Falcon, so you lose your Keon. I mean, you do have to stay on target. So I mean, there's that.
What's interesting is you can use it to strike before the edge battle even starts. So
Well, somebody just said Moldy Crow.
Yeah, but that wouldn't do anything because you wouldn't get the edge icons.
Right.
If you do it before. Yeah, if you do it before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like if he's on a certain vehicle, they have to double block because otherwise you just snipe the guy depending on who they block with. It's pretty dirty.
Pretty interesting.
And then you just auto win the edge and you get to strike again, basically. Well, if Blue 9 is out, you can strike again, I think. No. Anyway, just spitballing.
So last card in the set.
We might be wrong. There might be a rules thing that says when strikes can occur. No, because it says have it strike immediately. So yeah, I think. Yeah. Because the rules is if it's something that cannot happen, right? Like, so if there is something in the rules that stipulates when strikes can occur, well, I don't know.
I don't know. We got Matt Brown in the chat. Maybe he can. He's a rules guru.
Yeah.
He would know.
I thought so too, Matt. Like, I can't think of a rule that would state that they only happen after edge battles. It's not card text trumps rules, it's cannot trumps, right? If you cannot do something, no matter if it's on a card or if it's in the rules, that's what trumps. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. All right. So, final spoiler.
Final spoiler.
All right, everybody. Here it is.
Be excited.
Boom.
The last card better be Snaggletooth.
I'm just kidding. That wasn't it. That was a joke, everybody. I'm a jerk. There you go. That's the last one.
Wait, there's 2 stand targets and it's the objective?
It
Holy
was a
cow!
joke. It was a joke.
Holy cow!
Obviously, there has to be an objective.
So we get a 5-2.
Yeah.
The Secret of Chantipole?
Which I will never call that thing correctly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
they
pretty-
get
a
2/5,
pretty
none
basic.
of Jedi 2/5.
Pretty basic objective. So,
Matt. So, what are your thoughts on the set overall? Is it going to see play?
I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, we've already seen some vehicle lists do well at regionals. I think a few vehicle lists have won. Well, the list that won Houston was a vehicle list, and I think the deck that won in Florida, the light side deck that won in Florida was vehicles. So, I mean, I think it can easily replace. Like I know the one deck in Florida ran Lebo and Outrider. I think this set easily outclasses Lebo and Outrider.
Think
So
so?
I think so.
I can see it.
I mean, I think this set's good. I mean, Rebels will like it. Keon will fit on some Rebel ships, and Wedge on Blue Nine is probably going to be a thing. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing this set. So, what do you think? Do you think it's going to see play, or
I think it's a very tricksy set. I think like I'm just not the biggest fan of the pilot resources at all, and I'm just not a big fan of stay on target. I think too many in your deck and you just cluttered the deck up. Like most pilots only need like once you have one of those resources down, most pilots only need you just need to have to pay like 1 or 0 for them at that point. Like very few pilots cost 3. So once you start hitting more than one of those resources, they're all just kind of junk. Like you don't want to keep paying to put that stuff into play.
right? No, but at the same time, though, you don't. These resources provide resource matches, which is better than like Dagobah Training Grounds, and I can't think of the Rebel one.
I mean, in a sense, you're not wrong, right? It's just for me, anytime I'm reducing my maximum resources for the turn, it needs to be for a reason, and I'm pretty confident. Unless you're playing dual affiliations, I'm pretty confident you'll be just fine resource matching.
Yeah, without a doubt, you'll be fine. But I mean, still, you've got extra resources. Like the vehicle decks want to spam the board with as many threats as possible. And yeah, the 2/1 is inefficient, but at the same time, like you've still got cards like Defense of Yavin 4 and Rogue Squadron Assault where they let you overcome that inefficiency.
So with the force resources, they're degenerate and they let you abuse things that you shouldn't abuse. So that's why they're powerful. To me, the pilot resources aren't degenerate and they're not abusive. You only need 1 max in play to get a great benefit. 2 in play, you get an even better benefit. But to me, the benefit just isn't big enough to justify continually putting those things into play. Like they just
Well, you're only gonna. It's not like you're gonna have 6 of them in there. I would gladly play 2 of this set and 2 of Rogue Squadron Assault because the sets are just that good for vehicle lists. I think.
right. And there's no like major downside to that or anything. I get that. But I just don't like having 4 of those resources in my deck, and I really don't like having 4 stay on targets in my deck. I've had just too many tries with the ties where I've got stay on targets and no pilots to do anything with, and it'll probably be better once the cycle ends, so I probably won't feel that way once we have max number of pilots. But
Yeah.
for me, those are just cards that I'm just not excited about. I like the other cards in the set. The other cards in the set are fine, But to me, really, the only reason you're playing this set is for the pilot and the ship, because the objective doesn't do anything. The resource is just more of something that you don't necessarily need, and stay on target is something that is really annoying. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'd rather it be a twist or something else. You know, like personally.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just sorry. I get it. I mean, I don't know.
So I'm not a big fan of the like, what do we call these? Because it's like
Pilot
they
resource.
designed everyone the same, right? Where it's like focused on pilots only, you know, where you get the resource, because doesn't everyone have it? They always get the resource. They always get the stay on target,
Yeah,
right?
all the sets with the pilot resource
Yeah.
and stand targets are the same.
So to me, this is up there with like Baron Fell in terms of like really awesome pilot manipulation stuff. But I mean, you're never gonna play this outside of a pilot set, right? Like, or outside of a pilot theme or something, or a vehicle theme.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't play this as
Yeah,
anything but other than in anything other than a vehicle deck.
yeah. It'll. I think it'll be mostly just splash with rebels. You know, I don't think it'll see much play with smugglers. It might, but
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I mean, I wouldn't, say it's not possible, but I think the better of the synergies is with Rebels.
yeah.
So that's it.
That is it. That is this pack. I mean, as far as Jedi pilots go, it's cool. I'm just not sure what kind of play it'll see. I think the pilot and the ship are really cool though.
I think you're undervaluing the event, but
Yeah, I'm
that's
not a
just
fan
me.
of the event. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Trixie cards. What can I say?
Yeah. No. I do too. I just don't like them to be super situational.
Yeah.
Um. So hopefully we'll get the rest of Attack Run spoiled soon, and hopefully we'll be able to get our hands on it soon.
Hopefully a couple weeks.
There's something going on in the chat. I don't understand fully what the question is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay, can somebody ask? Can somebody say coherently what the actual question is? I can scroll up a little bit. Does Kanan strike, or does it allow you to focus to strike? Well, Kanan can't strike. It's only the ship that is. Let's see.
I mean, you have to focus to strike.
Focus is
So
enhancement to have enhanced units strike immediately. Yeah, you do have to focus it. I don't think they're meaning you just get a free strike. If that's yeah. Of course, the ship's got to focus. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Turtle. I think the idea is that you're taking a strike, or however you want to look at it. You know, you're performing the function of striking, which is to focus. Yeah. What Matt just said, or what Red 5 just said.
yeah. I mean, it says you get to strike with the ship, and striking involves placing a focus token on your
Yeah.
unit. So,
All right, so we should be back next week. We're just kind of, you may or may not be. When did your vacation start this week?
yeah, technically it starts tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
So Friday, we may have to do the cast on Thursday.
Wait, say that. What did you say?
We might have to do the cast on Thursday instead of Friday.
Okay. It sounded like you said so on Friday we're gonna have to do the cast on Thursday. It's like whoa.
Well, no, I might have. I was probably going to start a sentence, but then I just said we might have to cast on Thursday. I'm
Okay.
supposed to. My house is like 99.9% finished,
Awesome.
and we're supposed to close on Friday.
Nice.
So
Very
it
cool.
might just be better that we cast on Thursday. So,
That's awesome.
so there's that.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody enjoyed the spoilers.
I know
we
I
will
did.
be we'll be back next Thursday. New episode and no spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, so if I accidentally post that we have a spoiler episode, just ignore me. Because I do believe I did that the week after we had our first spoilers.
Yeah.
So,
All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. We will catch you next time.
take it easy, guys.